Hello everyone, and welcome to my first video ever. Today, I will be presenting to you my theory/prediction on the future of Deltarune. This theory is based mainly on my personal thoughts and is not backed up by much evidence. And now, let's not waste any more time and get ready for my theory. What if I asked you, who are Deltarune's main characters? Most people would probably answer Chris, Susie, Ralse, and Noelle. Someone might say Gaster, or even Player, but I bet that most people wouldn't consider Berdly as a main character. But I think there is a good chance that Berdly will be almost as important as Noelle, and that is what my theory will be about. First, let's analyze Berdly's role in the story up till now, which will help us conclude his role in the future. Berdly started Chapter 2 as wary, arrogant, and annoying brat who tries to look like he's the smartest, and thus prove his own superiority. At the end of Chapter 2, he learns that being smart isn't everything, and it's okay to make mistakes. However, he is still pretty annoying, has no regards for others' feelings in the slightest, and Ralse is yet to teach him a moral lesson. Also, from what we know, his parents, similar to Susie and Noelle, are far from ideal, and I have a feeling that eventually we will see triple or even quadruple parent confrontation. Another important thing is that he is friend of Noelle, and because of his battle on Weird Route, we know that he does genuinely care for her a lot. In summarize, Berdly is one of 4 Lighteners we know of, who visited Dark World. He does not have completed character arc, and is tied to another important character. I don't think there are enough of these characters in Deltarune for Toby to just discard him like a secret boss. It would also be a poor writing choice as Berdly is such a magnificent character. And now, it is time for juicy part of my theory. It is time for Weird Route. I almost hear you asking, how is Berdly supposed to be main character on Weird Route when he is dead? Or are you one of those who believe that gamers don't die, they respawn? Well, yes, in this universe, but only selected few can do that, and Berdly is most certainly not one of them. And yes, I do believe that Berdly is dead on this route, and as such, he won't be main character, but that doesn't mean that he won't be important, quite the opposite. I absolutely don't get the people who say that Chapter 2 ends the same regardless of which route you take. Yes, the ending scene might be the same, but the circumstances are completely different. In the Weird Route, we literally killed a person. Oh sorry, that wasn't really accurate of me. It is better to say that we forced probably innocent teenager to manipulate their childhood friend, and definitely innocent teenager to kill her friend, and a little bit less innocent teenager. In my opinion, this absolutely must have long-lasting consequences, especially in town, when nothing like this happened since disappearance of Des, who is by the way sister of the manipulated killer. In this part of my theory, I will focus on what I think might happen as consequence of Berdly's death. The Chapter 3 Dark World will probably be similar to main route, however. When you seal the fountain and enter a light world, that's when I think the 2 timelines will start to differentiate a lot. Berdly is dead or missing. Depends on if his body was found before he turned in dust. Noelle's psyche must be at the very bottom because she knows that dark worlds are real in this route, and she also knows that she was the one who killed Berdly. Not only that, she also has to be wary about what's happening to Chris. But Noelle won't be the only one with strong reaction to Berdly's death. Susie is a little bit naive, and she's ignorant to dangers of dark worlds. She does not realize that she would be long dead without Chris's saving powers. But how will she react when she learns that Berdly is dead? Will she finally realize the seriousness of the situation? Will she be too scared to enter another dark world? And how will Toriel react, or Askari, or Mayor Holiday? They will be probably even more protective of their respective children. The only one I have no idea of how will he react is Ralse. But isn't Deltarune supposed to have just one ending? And doesn't my theory contradict that? Well, the one ending is written with question marks since Chapter 2, so the meaning of it is very vague, and one way to interpret it is that Deltarune is supposed to have one ending, and only way to access a different one is by doing a lot of counterintuitive steps, essentially breaking the game. The final question in the video is, what will Weird Route look like in future chapters? And I have exactly 2 guesses. My first guess is that there won't be any other Weird Route apart from this one, because Noelle will be too cautious for us to manipulate her again. Nevertheless, the story will go totally off the rails and everything will play out completely differently, similarly to Butterfly Effect. This would also explain why are chapters 3 and 4 taking so long despite Toby having much larger team than before. My second guess is working on the assumption that the time loop theory of Jar Jar J is correct. Now close your eyes and use your imagination. You played through all 7 Deltarune chapters, and it was an amazing game, a real lifetime experience. However, the ending wasn't really satisfying. The world gets inevitably reset, and there seems to be no way for you to break through it. However, all hope isn't lost. Someone told you that if you want to break the time loop, you have to do everything you can to acquire power to be strong enough to defeat the angel. And so you do it. You manipulate Noel and several others to kill both Darkners and Lightners and become stronger. And at the end of it all, you confront the angel. After battle, that was harder than Sans and Undying the Undying combined. You defeat the angel, break the time loop, and fulfill the prophecy foretold by time and space. But there is nothing left to celebrate. Everyone is either dead, turned into an inanimate object, or a murderer. You destroyed lives of all these people, just for the chance to make a difference. Was it worth it? You can't be sure, but what you know is that since the time loop has ended, there's no way for you to return and undo your decision. Now you can open your eyes. And let's talk a bit why I think Toby would end Deltarune this way. If Deltarune truly ended like this, it would present a very interesting choice with no clear answer. You can either live your life happily and enjoy every moment of it. However, you would have to accept that your actions are of no consequences, like Jebel. Or you can struggle, fight, and sacrifice everything you can, just for a chance to break your own strings and make a difference, just like Spamton. In other words, it is a question of what's more important, the journey or the ending. And on that happy note, we have reached the ending of my video. I hope the journey wasn't too bad and boring. If not, then I would be grateful for every like. If you decide to subscribe, comment, or share, then you will help me even more. Oh, I almost forgot. Don't forget to check out videos that I base my theory of in the description. They are all really good. And with that, I am all done. Goodbye.